Today at Lake Geneva Country Meats, I'm going to show you how you can smoke a brisket. We have is a very simple recipe, and lately we have been getting a lot of questions on an easy recipe, and it's become such a more popular thing. So what I have is a 5 to 6 pound brisket. It's a flat piece, and what we did was we left a little bit of the fat on it. When you smoke it, it helps give it flavor, and then it also keeps it moist. So Stonewall Kitchen has these great spice rubs, and today I'm going to use the Texas rub for our brisket, but you can also find other spice rubs online too. So what you're going to do is you're just going to generously rub the meat with the spice. You want to get both sides and you want to cover it completely. Kind of really get it in there. Once you get one side, then you're just going to flip it over. Again, add some more spice to it. And you're going to rub that into the meat. Getting the sides also when you're rubbing that. Once you get it covered completely, what you're going to want to do is take off the gloves. But you're going to want to wrap it in tin foil. And what we're doing at this step is you're just going to cover it, and you're going to want to let it go into the fridge for 24 hours. The reason is because you're going to want to let all that meat marinate with your spice rub. So just going to go to the fridge, put it in the fridge, and let it go for 24 hours. Now that we've let it go for 24 hours and marinate, now I'm going to show you the second step to your brisket. So what we have over here is all the ingredients that we're going to add. I'm just going to unwrap the brisket and place it at the bottom of the pan. You can use a disposable pan. I just used one that I had in here. And what we're going to add is the flour. Now the flour helps make a nice thick sauce. It's about a half a cup. You're just going to sprinkle that along the sides. And then what we have is a nice red wine. You want about 2 cups of this. You're going to add that. And then we have your beef broth. You're going to add about 2 cups of this also. It's almost going to become submerged, which is good because what this does is it helps keep it moist. Alright. And then we have our vegetables. Now for our vegetables, they're going to be sitting in the marinade for about 3 to 4 hours. So you're going to want to leave them big. What I have is the carrots. I left those whole. I did not cut those down. Again, it's about maybe a cup to 2 cups. Your onions, I did 1 whole onion, and all I did was cut it in half and then cut it into thirds. You can leave them in bigger chunks if you wanted, or you can break them up. Then I have about 5 celery stalks that I cut up. You're just going to add those. And then I have 8 ounces of mushroom. Now some of the mushrooms were kind of big, so I cut those in half. Otherwise you can just leave them whole. You're going to kind of want to submerge them in the water. And we have about maybe 16 ounces of tomatoes, and you're just going to kind of squeeze those over. They're whole tomatoes, kind of messy. Once you get those all squeezed in there, then the last part that you're going to add is the butter. Now the butter just gives it a nice rich flavor. I have about 3 tablespoons. You can break it up or you can leave it as a chunk. I'm just going to kind of break it up so I can go all over. Now we're almost set here, and the next part is putting the wood chips together. So I'm just going to wipe my hands off. Set this off to the side, and this is almost ready to go out to the grill. Now, for the wood chips, what I have is a piece of tin foil, and I just have a big piece that I cut, and I have the wood chips that have been soaking for about an hour. You want to soak them so that they're nice and moist. so they don't burn. I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm just going to grab some of the wood chips and set it right in the center. You're going to probably make about 4 of these packets because throughout the process you're going to have 2 packets on there, and then you're going to switch them out maybe an hour or so throughout. So you're just going to fold that in half. And then you have 1 packet ready. And then I'm going to grab a knife, and you're going to want to poke some holes in there just so that that flavor gets throughout the cooking process. All right, so now that we have our brisket ready to go in the sauce and we have our packet made up, let's go out to the grill. All right, so we're out by the grill, and what I have is our grill. We have a gas grill, and we have it preheated to 350 degrees. And what I did was I took our packets, and what I used was a mesquite wood chip, and you're just going to put those on the heat source, and everything else is off. So you're just going to set your brisket on the other side, and then you're going to close it, and you're going to let it go. Now we're going to come back out here in about an hour and a half, and we're going to check, and we're going to baste our brisket, and then we're also going to switch out our wood chips. All right, so we've had the brisket on there for about an hour and a half, and about every 30 minutes I've been basting the brisket. So I've just been taking the juice down at the bottom, and I've just been covering that over the top of it. So you want to do that every 30 minutes. And now that it's been like an hour and a half, what we're going to do is we're going to take the old wood chips, and we're going to take those off. Just place those off to the side. And we're going to take the new packets, the same thing that I did before, and we're just going to place those on top. All right, and we're going to let it keep going. All right, so we've had the brisket on for about 4 hours, and now it's coming to the part where we're going to take it off and slice it and cut it. So if you take a look at it, it looks nice and bubbly, nice and done. And throughout the process, we basted it every 30 minutes, and then we switched out the wood chips about 3 times. So I'm just going to pull it off, and we'll take it inside and plate it up. All right, now that we've taken it off the grill and come inside, now I'm going to show you how you're going to present it on a plate. So what we have here is some of the fat you're going to want to trim off. So what I did was I just kind of cut along. It's kind of by eye, but you're just going to want to cut chunks off at a time. You can try and go all the way through, but then you might get some of the meat. So then after you get like an area cut out, you're just going to take and cut it on a bias. You're going to get as many slices as you want off. And that should be enough for a plate. So what I have here is polenta that we sell in store, and all I did was, what you can do is cut it into slices and you can pan fry it, but what I've done here is just put it inside a saute pan. I added a little bit of heavy cream and a little bit of chicken stock. That's just to give it a nice cream. And when putting it on the plate, I have a plate over here. You can plate it any way you want. This is just a nice summer meal that you can have, because you can't just live on meat alone. And you're going to take your slices of meat, just kind of fan those out. And what we did was we grilled the corn, and you're just going to pull it back and place that on there. It's a great summer. The process is quite easy. Right after you get done putting everything together, you just pretty much put it on the grill and you forget about it. So try this recipe. We have all the ingredients here in the store, so stop on in and pick up a fresh cut brisket and try this at home.